Hey everyone, and happy Tuesday. That's right, it's your girl, hashtag JLoan in the building. It is cold outside here in Texas. School has been canceled. The kids are home, so if you hear a loud scream, just know the kids are safe. But they are also in the building here. So I hope you're staying warm and you're staying safe if you're anywhere in the area. And how ironic that today is National Hot Chocolate Day. It's a perfect day to drink hot chocolate because it's super cold outside. I think our high today is 27 or 29 degrees, something like that. And this ice on the floor is not even snowing. It's like ice that's on the floor. It's just sticking. It's just going to stay there for the next couple of days. So stay safe. I wanted to talk about today. I have a borrower who reached out to me, and obviously I'll never mention names, but they know who they are, who reached out to me in regards to a situation that had happened to her with an actual builder. Okay. And what happened is she had a home built for however many months it takes to build a home. And 2 weeks before she was supposed to close her loan, they basically told her now she doesn't qualify. And now that she doesn't qualify, they have to try to get exceptions to why she doesn't qualify, or she has to try and save up an enormous amount more money to put down to try to make the debt ratio work. And it got me to thinking because a lot of the times I get, and I'm just being completely honest, I'm very, very thorough upfront because I never want my borrowers to feel this type of hurt, pain, money loss, all the emotions that come with, canceling your lease, getting ready to move, having movers plan, stuff packed, only to find out now you don't qualify, right? So I do take a little longer upfront because I do a thorough review of everything that you send me. And if you send me something that poses another question, I'm going to ask those questions and collect that documentation upfront because if I don't, the underwriter is going to ask for it anyway. And then you will constantly feel that from beginning to end, we're always asking you for information. Now, wouldn't it be better if you got that information to me up front? We get your loan pre-approved through our to be determined department. Or if it's a file that needs an exception, we can send it in up front, get that exception so that when you put your offer in, you're 100% confident that you can get that loan. Now, unfortunately for this client, she signed another lease because it just got too stressful for her. And I wanted to talk about the things that are necessary for you to get your loan through underwriting. Is there a basic list that we send out, such as 2 years W-2s, 2 years tax returns, business and personal, 1 month pay stubs, a copy of your driver's license, 2 months bank statements? That's just a basic list. So I want to show you what your processor and your underwriter, their checklist is, so that you understand when we're asking for these documents, and the more thorough your loan officer is or your loan officer's team is, they're going to get this information up front. All right. So I'm going to make myself smaller and I'm going to show you a loan document checklist that we should do, that we normally do. So it just goes over the borrower's property address, purchase, refinance, conventional, FHA, USDA, VA, your application date, if you have a contract closing date. These are all the basic things that we have to fill in, right? So when we go down to your documents, it says, hey, is this credit report within the last 120 days? If you pulled your credit 6 months ago and now you have an offer, you need an updated credit report in the file. It says inquiry and address letter of explanation. That's what LOX means. That means if you have any inquiries on your credit report that we do not see a new debt for, We must address these inquiries, right? Also, address letter of explanation. So, what happens is, whether you believe it or not, clients don't always tell us when they own multiple properties or that their parents left them land, or maybe they got mail going to their mom's house. All these addresses, every address associated with your name and your social is going to come up on your credit report. And you have to include a letter of explanation about every address that is on your actual credit report. And then, do we need any non-traditional credit? Let's just say you're someone who doesn't have a big credit profile, or maybe you don't have credit scores at all, and we're using non-traditional credit, such as cell phone bills, maybe your electricity bill, your gas bill, your cell phone bill, things of that sort, and we're building that and we need a 12-month history. Hey, did we put that in here, right? Verification of rent. Now, everybody doesn't require verification of rent, but sometimes verification of rent is a compensating factor if your file's not too strong. But also sometimes underwriting guidelines such as Fannie, Freddie, FHA, if you read those guidelines as a loan officer, it will tell you, hey, we'll approve this loan, but you have to have a verification of rent. And that's very important to know, that if it is where a management company is where you send your payments to, we can get the verification from them. But if you're paying to a private party, or maybe you're renting from your brother and you're telling us you make these payments, it gets a little bit more complex. We're going to need to see 12 months of canceled checks, money orders. Maybe you're Venmoing every month, and we have to see that every month you've made that rent payment on time. All right. Bankruptcy papers are always required. All right. So every page, every schedule. Sometimes you don't have it. You can get it from the courts. But honestly, again, good loan officers have sources where we can get bankruptcy papers with your permission. So that's required. Any divorces, whether there's 1 or 10 within the last 7 years, is required. No matter what, every page. All right. Child support orders. Also, you may not have been married, but you had a child and now there's a child support order. Well, every page of that is required, and sometimes proof of 3 months that you've received child support. All right. If you have any judgments on your credit report, most of the time those must be paid either at closing or before, and then we would need that satisfaction letter. And then if you're paying off any debts at closing in order for you to qualify. All right. That all has to do with credit. Then you have employment and income. 30 days pay stubs, your most recent pay stubs, 2 years W-2s, 2 years tax returns, canceled checks for taxes owed. So when we're getting your taxes, we're looking at that bottom figure, and did it say you got money back, or did you owe the actual IRS money? If you did, we need to see that you paid them, or are you in a payment arrangement? If you're now in a payment arrangement and you tell me that, now I'm going to request, well, give me a copy of the payment arrangement and show me proof that you've been making this payment on time. Okay. Your 4506T, again, some people don't submit tax returns. The lender will collect them anyway. So why I collect them anyway is because I want to know, is there something on these tax returns that are going to prevent you from qualifying once the underwriter sees your 4506T, which is a tax transcript that shows every line that you submitted to the IRS. Well, if you didn't tell me, hey, I work from Uber on the side and I claimed a $10,000 loss, and now the underwriter sees it, guess what she has to do? Now she has to count that $10,000 loss against your income. Well, if you don't disclose that and you don't want to get me tax returns, believe me, I hear it. Why do you guys need all of this? This is too much. Well, we're lending you hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars on a daily basis. Would you lend someone money if they didn't prove to you that, hey, I'm legit? Okay. Now, a full 2-year work history. This is where it hurt my borrower. Okay. Where the builder's lender turned her down is because someone did not review her full 2-year work history or make sure that they had it. Now, a lot of clients don't know and don't understand that when there's gaps in your employment, those gaps can hurt you when it comes to qualifying for a home loan. Now, yes, the standard is if you have a 6-month gap, typically you have to wait 6 months, most of the time a year, before you can even use that new income. Okay? But there are situations where if you're working 2 jobs, obviously the guideline states, hey, well, you have to have been working 2 jobs for 2 years consistently. But the guideline also states with no breaks anywhere in there. So if you switch from one second employer to another and there's a gap, that could cause a problem on some loan programs, most loan programs. So if someone does not read that, or if you give a faulty work history, which is very important for you to know when you stopped and when you started another job. Okay, that's super important. Please keep a resume of your job history, start date, exact start date, and exact end date, because when it comes to a mortgage, this could hurt you, and it could be something that maybe your loan officer didn't have up front because you didn't give them the right information, or it could be that, hey, they didn't really review the work history in full. Okay, and that's 2-year work history is complete. We're talking about name of employer, address, telephone number to HR, your rate of pay, what was your position, all of that stuff is important. Self-employed borrowers, 2 years to business tax returns, no ifs, ands, or buts, all right? And then as a loan officer, we have to complete an income worksheet, or the processor does this again, or their team, all right? And then assets, it says on here, verify only what's needed. I tell my borrowers all the time, don't give me 15 bank statements if you don't plan on using 15 bank statements to close on your loan. The more information you give an underwriter, the more reason you are giving them to find a reason why you do not qualify. Again, an underwriter's job is to approve your loan as far as you're concerned, but as far as we're concerned in the business, they are looking for one reason why they should not give you the loan. So our job is to paint the prettiest picture that we can. So when we're asking you for documentation, it's not because we want it for personal use. It's because, hey, I want to cross my T's and I want to dot my I's, because the number one thing I want to do is I want to see you on closing day. I want your kids to have their own rooms. Okay? I want to see that smile on their face. I want to see you start building equity. I don't want to see tears. Bad tears, good tears, yes, but bad tears, I don't want to see those, right? I don't want to make a mistake on your file. So the only way I can be very thorough as a loan officer is if I ask you for that information and I genuinely look through everything you provide me. So again, if you need it to close your loan, I want to see that asset. Or if you're transferring money from account to account, we need all of the bank statements, because you're moving money around and we have to source those deposits. So again, your 401k statement, everything must always be your most recent 2 months or your most recent quarterly statements. And in addition, your summary plan description or your terms of withdrawal. Everyone may call it something different. This goes over the rules in which you can withdraw from your actual 401k. Not everyone's 401k is accessible no matter what. All right. Bank statement month 1, bank statement month 2, most recent bank statements. And when you get pre-qualified, you must always send us the most recent bank statement that comes out and most recent pay stubs that come out. All right. A letter of explanation for large deposits. If you have large deposits going in, and I won't go into what makes a large deposit because it'll make this video too long, but I have done it before. If it's a non-payroll deposit that goes into your bank account, they are going to ask where that money came from. Well, that can pose tons of other questions. You could say, hey, had a claim on my car, here's a copy of the check. But you can also deal with, well, hey, my mom and my dad gave me $8,000 to buy my new home. Well, now we need a gift letter, Now we need proof that they gave you the money. We need a copy of their bank statement. There's all things that come in. And that's why it's important to do a thorough review, because you'd be surprised how many parents don't want to provide me their bank statements to prove to me that they gave you this money. So we need to know up front, hey, are they going to help us or are they going to hinder us? And how can I smooth talk them to give them the information that we need to close your loan? All right. Then you have a letter of explanation for access letters. Sometimes borrowers have themselves and they have another person that's not on the loan. Sometimes it could be their kids, it could be their parents, and they're not on the loan. Well, I'm going to ask, well, who's this other person? And now we need a letter from them that states that, hey, this is their account and they have 100% access to use these funds for this purchase, and they have to sign that letter. Okay? Any overdrafts, you never want overdrafts, but if you do have overdrafts and it's like a singular event, we need a reason as to why you had an overdraft. So you have to give us a letter of explanation of why you over withdrew your account. Okay? EMD is your earnest money deposit. Again, gift letters, if anybody's giving you money, and then gift documentation. I just went over that. Again, I did this in a whole other video. And then your real estate owned proceeds from sale. So if you're closing one loan or selling one home to buy another, we need all the documentation that comes with that. The contract showing the house is going to be bought. And then when you close, we need that final closing disclosure that goes over all the money that you got in order to purchase the new sale. And obviously there's things that go into that as well. All right. So I think that I have given you a ton of information, but again, over here, you need your driver's license. Is it a purchase? Can we do that purchase agreement? Are there any seller concessions? Did we order your title? I mean, these are all the things that we have to look at. Hey, who are you getting your homeowner's insurance through? We need to contact them. Give me the number. Do you own another property? Now I need your mortgage statement on that property, or if you don't have a mortgage, I need your taxes, your insurances, any HOAs. This is all information. If you're a veteran, I need your DD-214. I need information. I need your certificate of eligibility that we'll get on our end. But these are all the things that we need in order to get your loan from beginning to end. So when you ask the question, hey, why do you ask for so much information? It's because if I don't, they will. And my job is to get your loan into underwriting, paint the prettiest picture I could possibly paint, so that every time the underwriter says, what about, it's there, and they check off your loan, and now we sit back, we relax, we wait on appraisal and title, and then hopefully we close your loan early, which is always our goal here at Union. So I know this video is longer, but I would 100% urge you to not only watch this video, but share this video. And not because I want views or because I want likes. If you work with me or you don't work with me, this video is vital. If you are working with any borrower, anyone trying to purchase or refinance, this video will detail out to them all the things that we're looking for. Start collecting, start that path of creating just greatness, so that when we ask for something, boom, you've already got it saved because you watched this video. Okay. Hey, I hope you guys stay warm. I hope you guys stay safe. Again, look at this. I'm warm at home. And until next week, we'll be back in the office. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.